Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast. Talking Auburn football, go ahead and like the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger War Eagle. I want to give a big shout out and a happy Memorial Day to everyone out there. I'm actually doing a car video. I don't particularly like doing them, but this is what you're getting today. Because once I get home, I really don't feel like doing videos. I probably want to barbecue. I don't know, just kind of sit around and not do too much. The Auburn Tigers, with a nice surge in recruiting earlier this month, jumped from number 50 to the mid-20s because of some signees, especially a couple of offensive linemen, and a pretty good quarterback out of the state of Texas. Now, I say that to mention the fact that recruiting is about to get very, very aggressive here on the back end real soon, because there's a lot of urgency, if you will, in trying to fill these spots. I mean, Auburn's got a few more spots to fill. From a standpoint, you want to have at least about 25, somewhere around there, maybe even more. But at the same time, you got to start it now. You can't get to the point where at the December you're scrambling, kind of like what Auburn did back in 2018 when they put a lot of stock in George Pickens. George Pickens winds up flipping to Georgia. You want to have a solid class, and I think the 2019 class was arguably one of the more solid classes. All of the guys, well, most of the guys, especially the high priority targets, signed during the early signing period, which really helps you leverage out your planning. Hey, where are these guys going to fit in the roster? Is a guy that could possibly redshirt? It gives you a good idea of planning. And then let's just say National Signing Day, the actual signing day, you're just actually shoring up the class that you already, the solid piece of the class that you already have. You don't have a lot of threats of some flips. As a matter of fact, Auburn actually got a flip out of Romello Height, who was all but going to Miami, winds up flipping to Auburn on signing day. I thought that was pretty big. And speaking of flips, you got to know that Auburn on the back end is trying or is attempting to flip some guys. We're going to talk about that in another video. Auburn is starting to venture out in the Southwest as far as recruiting goes, have gotten some really solid players out of Texas, whether it be the high school market or the transfer portal. Most recently, really huge, getting Jarrett Stidham from Baylor, and also Cam Martin, who I just think Cam Martin was just underutilized. I thought his talent was grossly underutilized, but that's neither here nor there. So, also got a couple of good guys out of Texas in this past, in the 2020 recruiting class. So, Auburn's making a little noise out there. Also tapping into the Mississippi market as well. Have got some pretty good defensive linemen out of there. And also what gives Auburn a little bit of leverage now in the recruiting game is the fact that they're doing a little bit better at getting guys to the next level. You notice in 2019, that draft class pretty much had to scrape to get in the draft. Jarrett Stidham is projected to possibly be a starter for New England, but went into the draft in the 4th round. Now that's not anything new for New England. They're good at getting those blue collar type players at a low price. But Auburn had 2 first-round picks this year. I thought that was pretty phenomenal. Also, Marlon Davidson going pro as well. A couple offensive linemen, Jack Driscoll and Prince Tega-Wanagu, going huge sign for Auburn. So that gives them a lot of leverage and a lot more selling points. You talk about Derrick Brown, Defensive Player of the Year in the SEC. Also, he and Marlon Davidson pretty much flipped the coin to see who was going to be Defensive Player of the Week. Those guys did a fantastic job this particular year. And of course, Noah Igbenogany, actually having a skilled player make it to the NFL does help you, because it helps you attract those elite athletes. I think Noah Igbenogany is going to be a very, very valuable cornerback in the NFL, so we look out for that. So just know that Auburn is getting aggressive. They have more leverage. I think they have access to a wide range of experience as far as coaches go. You talk about Jack Bignell, who was offensive line coach at Ole Miss, also did some time in the NFL, has been a head coach before, especially in the state of Texas. coached at Texas Tech in the early 2000s. Also, you have super aggressive recruiters like Rodney Garner, Cody Burns, Travis Williams, and now Cornell Williams is getting kind of in the game as well. So we're just going, and Chad Morris, of course, who recruited Deshaun Watson back during his time at Clemson, knows all about heavy, high-end recruits. All right, guys, we're just talking about a little recruiting to get today. Go ahead and like the video, comment, and subscribe to Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn, where I am your host, Kennard Vernon Stewart. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle.